Would it be an exaggeration to say that almost everyone in India wants to make a film? It might be an exaggeration, but a small one. In a country where both Bollywood and regional film industries dominate, there's also a sophisticated and growing movement of documentary filmmaking, digital short films, of telling stories, of capturing realities, and just exploring the world through the lens of the camera. In the Indian series of Moti Roti, this obsession with films results in all types of stories, from the more traditional messages of social activism to the intensely personal story of home and belonging, seen through the eyes of a 3-year-old.
Moti Roti, the word, the name, it really intrigued me because at that time my daughters were very young, and every time we went out, they were really fond of tandoori rotis, and the child term in our house for a tandoori roti was Moti Roti. Come, we are going out for Moti Roti. So I said, oh, there's somebody else in the world here to whom Moti Roti means something very important for him to have called his organization motiroti.com.
Please teach me in English, ma'am.
One day says you rabbit call me to there do work it to catch me to kill.
I remembered having shot very randomly one afternoon with my daughter, and she just picked up a book, really adult book on race and politics and gender, and decided that it was a storybook and she could read just as well as mummy and papa. She was making these sounds which clearly to her were what sounded like English, and then she translated it into a story about a rabbit, and I just happened to pick up my camera and film her, and it came back to me because really that was a first step of a little child who knew that she was going to be reading English books, who only spoke Hindi and Urdu at that moment. Just stepping into this vast world and acquiring a new language and saying, yeah, I can read this book and I'll tell you what the story is all about.
तो क्या होता है? रैबिट बोलता है कि मैं जाऊँ कैसे यहाँ से? छेद होता तो मैं वहाँ से पाइप से खींच कर तो मैं फोड़ कर चला जाता.
He's saying it's a really nice story, sir.
बोले tell you and मैं कैसे आऊँ? थक.
What occurred to me was, I mean, here we were talking about how we define ourselves, what is home for, a filmmaker, for an artist, for a person. In today's times when home can mean so many different places, so many different spaces, so many different states of mind.
Where were you at the time of the blast?
I was with my friends.
Okay. Tell me, what did you do one day before the blast?
I was chatting with my friends.
A world in which filmmaker Khadija Arif may still feel excluded.
I have a copy of this email with me.
What?
You said, is everything under control? Your cousin said, yeah. You said, hope you will do it in a way that no one could make out. What were you referring to? Who did the blast?
What are you trying to say? What proof do you have?
This was found from the site of the blast.
Who are you?
You have to believe me. This definitely is me, but I don't know. I can't believe this.
Yes, I am a Muslim, and the experience of being a Muslim in India post Babri Masjid. And one fine night, we were all sleeping, and there was this gang of people who came and started abusing and saying, Musalman, tum niklo yahan se. But that whole experience changed our life somehow.
The exclusionary politics of identity works at many levels. In Orissa, it becomes a battle over land that these tribals have lived on for generations. a struggle against displacement that becomes filmmaker Surya Shankar Das's lens.
When we talk about a global audience, it's yet to make a space like the issues of the emerging issues of Adivasi people in Orissa is yet to make news. Well, now we have come across instances where the international media has picked up issues and reported about it in great detail. But somehow I felt that we were missing out on some things, and therefore I thought, why not make a video tribute to the people who have been martyred for development in Kalinganagar, in Kashipur, and maybe able to start a debate, or at least get people thinking about it. What is happening in Orissa, where the state police comes and kills people if they are not letting go of the land.
I was going through a particularly sort of uncreative phase, and I have a friend who's a photographer, and we'd been talking about doing something for a long time. He went out one night to drop some people, and on the way back at about 1 o'clock, there was a guy asking for a lift on the road. And generally, I think very few of us are the sort who would actually give someone a ride at that time of the night. He took him halfway to his destination and dropped him and said, "Now, what are you going to do?" And that guy says, "Well, you picked me up, somebody else will do the same." I mean, the implicit sort of faith that this guy had in city people with cars, that kind of surprised us. And then we thought about the idea of the man on the road, and would you pick up a man on the road?
And so our basic storytelling seems to have moved on from heat, dust and hunger to sense and sensibility. More universal themes, perhaps recognizing how we're now all citizens of a world in a blender.
Calling these only diaspora films or only thinking of it as a diaspora expression is narrowing it down a bit too much. It's really young artists from 3 countries being asked a question, where are you from? Where is home?
That's all we have time for this week. Do write into us at witness@ndtv.com.